1 week check-in. Byride and Louie have been in the tank for a week and everything is finally starting to settle. The tank is starting to mature. Byride's getting back to her normal behavior and Louie's actually settled in and found a home for himself. We haven't had any major problems yet, which is amazing. So Byride's behavior actually did change when we put Louie in the tank. Her color was a lot more pale. She wasn't actually acting the way she normally acted, but now she's back to normal. Her color has returned. She responds to me, she's been playing with me, and she's curious. She's back to exploring the tank and kind of figuring everything out, and she's not so apprehensive anymore. This is a very, very, very good sign. When we first put Louie in the tank, his behavior was also a little bit off. His coloration really didn't change much, but he was hiding in these corners here, so we can always keep an eye on Byride. And if he wasn't there, he was up in that corner, and he made sure he had Byride's side of the tank in his vision at all times. He's actually started to settle in as well. He's made a den for himself, and he actually responds to me by the glass, and he's starting to come out right now. He's still not as trusting as Byride, which takes a little bit of time. Hey, Louie. But he's starting to acknowledge my presence at the very least, which is a very good sign. So this tank has been my life for the past week. I cleared my schedule, I took vacation time, and this is all I've been doing to make sure that they're both okay. It's to the point, if I'm sleeping in the middle of the night, where you ask, I always wear jeans to bed. And the water sound kind of changes, I jump out of bed, grab a flashlight, and check on both of them to make sure that they're okay and they're where they're supposed to be. So far, we haven't had any major problems. I mean, they could have inked, they could have been extremely aggressive towards one another. Their coloration could have changed to an aggressive dark color, like they were hunting each other, they could have hurt each other, and they could have slipped over onto the other side of the tank. And just in case any of that happened, my plan B was to move Byride back to her tank, which is still up and running, to keep her safe. Another major issue with keeping octopuses is the amount of waste they produce. So the tank has to be very well cycled to be able to handle all that waste and export it into something that's not poisonous to the octopuses. So the best sign to know that your tank has cycled, besides having no ammonia and no nitrite in the tank, is actually algae growing everywhere. And these are diatoms. We call it the ugly stage, but it's actually a very good sign that everything is where it's supposed to be. To deal with all this waste, I went ahead and added extra filtration. I added a protein skimmer, which basically removes a lot of the uneaten food before it actually dissolves into waste. And I also added a media reactor that has activated carbon on one side that keeps the water clear and not smelly. And then I added this media rock, which also handles the nitrates and it gives the bacteria another place to live. So the only real major problem we've had is actually this gap, which I'm sure you guys have heard about. It literally pulled every single one out. It's basically been my worst nightmare for the past week and a half. Right now it's only sealed up with some rubber weather seal and some crazy glue. Don't worry, the crazy glue is absolutely safe. It's cyanoacrylate, which is something that's used in reef tanks and marine tanks for a really long time without any issues. So I picked up something to fix it and make it more aesthetically pleasing, and this was the only product that I found that can be applied underwater and can be cured underwater without having to drain the whole tank. But that's gonna be in the next video, so like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to find out what we're gonna do.